Good morning and aloha, everybody. Let's go with my local newspaper for today's headline to talk about Hawaii's tourism reopening off to a choppy start. My, that's certainly the mastery of understatement if ever I heard it. Let's talk about this story and Hawaii's choppy start. The daily number of trans-Pacific arrivals jumped when Hawaii started a pre-arrivals testing program to welcome travelers back. Now, 1 week into the state's tourism reopening, visitor arrivals already have started leveling off. No, they haven't. They've fallen off a cliff. The number of visitors coming from a vacation or to visit friends stood at 463 on October 14th, the day before Hawaii began its pre-arrivals testing program that gave travelers the opportunity to bypass a 14-day visitor quarantine. That number peaked at 5,124 on Saturday, but by Tuesday had dropped off more than 48% to 2,637. Hawaii visitor industry leaders credit pent-up demand for the better-than-expected traveler counts that came from the pre-arrivals program kickoff. Now they say visitor arrivals are settling in closer to the 2,000 to 4,000 per day that the industry had expected, or even lower. The first few days were robust. No, they were not. But it's been dropping off, said Jack Richards, president and CEO of Pleasant Holidays, a Hawaii wholesale travel seller. I would describe the reopening as choppy. No, it's catastrophic, and here's why. Let's go by numbers from a year ago. A year ago, there were 30,000 visitors a day on average coming into Hawaii. So that peak number of 5,000, that's pitiful. That 463 in October 14th, insignificant. As is the other number that dropped to 2,637 by Tuesday, also insignificant if you're talking from going 30,000 a day on average to 2,600 a day. A year ago, on average, there were a little over 249,000 visitors to Hawaii. In total, we had a little bit better than 10 million visitors come and go through Hawaii last year, and they spent $17.75 billion. Not bad for a state that has less than 1.5 million people in it. On top of that, this same newspaper ran a poll a few days ago, and Governor Ige's approval of how he's handled coronavirus was only 30%. You would think that would give Hawaii a chance to flip and turn Republican. No. For as long as Hawaii has been a state, they've only elected one Republican governor. And I'm not going to mention the governor she replaced because that governor was probably the most corrupt governor that has ever been in Hawaii. And so Hawaii elected at that time its only Republican governor, and so far its only female governor. And what followed was another disaster. Neil Abercrombie. He did such a horrible job, he didn't even run again for re-election, and you would think the Republicans would have had a chance. No, we got David Ige, our current governor. What's going to happen in the coming election? Biden, if elected, he has already said he's going to close down the entire country for 3 months. That's going to put a beating on Hawaii, who's just barely started to open up again. To shut it down completely for 3 more months, You would think that would give Hawaii strong incentive to vote Republican, but you will not find truer dyed-in-the-wool Democrats than those in Hawaii. And that's why when my vote is counted, it will be one of the insignificant few that did not vote for Biden.